Is there any way we could like turn the sound of the air conditioner down? Just because I'm hearing it in my headphones.
I mean, I think there's a way to keep it on but not have the fan.
Gotcha.
So, all right, I guess that's me now.
I mean, we don't have to, if it's too much of a hassle, we don't have to fuck around with it.
I feel like, oh, there we go. Oh, God.
Oh,
It's falling
Tom,
apart.
you
It's
fucking
falling
goober.
apart. I don't know what I'm doing.
Tom breaks the
I
mic.
think I broke the microphone.
Let's cool down a little.
Did we fix the mic? Oh, okay, we did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's fixed.
What-
It looks
It's not
good.
moving, and that's good.
What did you
Yeah.
want? So what did you ask me to do?
I almost always. Hello, it is me. This is my
A
normal
little
voice.
more.
Actually, I think that's a little loud. This is my normal voice. Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Tom Hates Albums.
Golly gee, don't I?
I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
I'm Matt Glass.
And I'm Tom Murphy.
On the last episode, we listened to an album that Tom actually liked, which was Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf.
Yeah, we did. It was very good. I'm still listening to it pretty regularly.
Same here, actually.
Not as a whole album, but you know,
The songs that
the
you
songs
liked.
are on my ultimate shotgun
Epic gamer playlist. Yeah.
Kind of a follow-up to that, too. I found out why Bad Out of Hell 3 was not released here.
Mm-hmm.
It was only released in Ireland.
Oh.
That kind of fucks.
I see.
Actually, I kind of love that.
Yeah, commercially,
exclusive.
it was only released in Ireland due to some weird licensing stuff with the trademark Bat Out of Hell album series. So
Interesting.
Good for Ireland.
Yeah.
Unless it was a bad album, then I get it. I mean, they probably just didn't listen to it.
I hear it's one of his better ones.
the
But
third one.
yeah.
Really?
In comparison, but like in the grand scheme of Meatloaf albums, that's not really saying much.
like
I mean, the one I've listened to is fucking awesome.
the best.
So
That's the best one, but I think
Yeah.
from what number 3 is like the second best
It's like
of the trilogy.
it's in the top 5 of his like stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's The Monster is Loose. Bat Out of Hell 3, The Monster is Loose.
Yeah.
you mean the Monsters Unleashed?
Yes.
One might say.
One might say. But here's the deal. We're not talking about Bat Out of Hell, obviously. If you look
No.
at the title, we gave Tom another album because that's how the fucking show works. It's Currents by Tame Impala.
Yes. So Tom proposed a little thing, a little new segment for the show in the intro, where Matt and I guess what he thought of the album by guessing his score and his opinion.
We could also feel free to throw out like, oh, we think this was your favorite song on the album. Although I don't think that's really gonna matter here. I'm gonna be honest.
I can give it a shot. I'm down for that.
Or something like that. Like just make predictions about how you
Yeah.
think I'm gonna
How
feel
your
about it.
overall feelings
Because I
are.
have it written down
Mhm.
and I can't change it.
That's
So-
true. That's not how this works. Opinions are always the same and they never change.
They are.
As we know.
Oh, naturally, yeah.
I've never once changed an opinion.
I'm thinking Tom is going to give this like a 5 or a 6, and his favorite song is Less I Know the Better.
Because that is like the most pop. No, it's not.
I'd say
Is it?
probably on
Is
this
it?
album.
Okay.
I'd say like this or like Let It Happen.
I was about to say, I think. Wait, no, Less to Know the Better. That's one of the two most popular.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the singles.
Yes.
I know that.
Yeah. They have quite a few singles on this album.
They do. It's 4 of them, I believe.
4 singles.
Yeah.
They did.
They did.
Wild.
So Matt, what do you think Tom thought of this album?
So, me being me, I want to just oppose for the sake of it. But at the same time,
How do you oppose him like at a 5? It's like the middle.
Pretty average, pretty neutral.
we add more numbers.
Yeah, either he hated it or he loved it, I guess is the only way to go.
-7.
We use the full integer on the x-axis.
This album
Yes.
made Tom quit the show.
That'd be wild if that was your prediction. And then it happened. I
Yes.
was
I
like,
feel like it's a weird thing where like for some reason you kind of vibe with this just like a little bit harder than other ones besides Bat Out of Hell, of course. And I feel like it's
And
kind of
Starbomb.
more. Oh yeah, Starbomb. That is the other
yes.
one.
That's the bar to
the
beat.
greatest musicians of all time, Danny Sexbang and Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And no one can disprove that.
I think honestly, you're gonna think of this as like a little above average. I think you're gonna put it like a 7,
Okay.
like a 7 point.
Oh, a 7. Of course.
Yeah, it's pretty close, I would say.
7.3. I don't know.
Did you have a prediction for song, or do you
for
not want
song? I honestly, from this album, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
they
that's fair.
fluctuate a lot in terms of sound.
So I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll hop into our little history before we get into our brief thoughts about the album. So Currents was released July 17th, 2015 on Modular Records, and it is the third album released by Tame Impala, which is an Australian musical project started by Kevin Parker. Currents served as a bit of a departure from Impala's previous harder psych rock sound, opting instead to create something more dancey and accessible for general audiences with a central theme of personal transformation. And I think it's a really good album. This album holds a special place in my heart, so I'm very curious to hear your opinions, Tom. And that look is not reassuring.
So, I listened to the album.
Mm-hmm.
You guys said there were multiple singles on this album
Yes.
and that the sound fluctuates. When the fuck does it fluctuate? That was the same song for 50 minutes. That's what I felt sounded like to me. It was. I'm not a huge fan of this vocal styling.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds kind of whiny to me. The name that kept coming to my mind, I don't think it's actually correct, but I just kept thinking The Weeknd. I don't think it's right at all.
Okay.
But that's what I meant. He's got kind of a whiny vocal. I don't know. I as we discussed last week, I like the power ballad, like screaming
hair metal.
lyrics, hair metal. So this was not my cup of tea.
Yes.
Technically, I think you were correct with your prediction of favorite song.
Let's go.
And that I read that one's tied for the highest
Score?
rating and score at 5 out of 10.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess you were correct on that front.
Well, I guess we can hop right into a little bit of a track deep dive. So what did you think of these tracks? What stood out to you in terms good or bad?
So as far as good goes, it was song number it was 7, the one you predicted. The Less I Know the Better. That's the name of it. Yeah. It had a slightly better instrumental. It was a little more upbeat. I still didn't really like the vocals, but the vibe was definitely better on that song compared to some of the other ones. The opening song I also had a 5 out of 10. I thought it was a little too long. I think that, again, things are only too long when you don't like them, you know? And the instrumental was kind of fun, but I ultimately found that song kind of boring, which is kind of a running theme throughout a majority of the album. I'll just go through in order now. Song number 2, Nangs. What the fuck is that name?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
No idea.
I did kind of like that I didn't know what it means. I'm not going to lie. I gave it like a 3 out of 10. It was, if I remember correctly, that one was like...
It's like a minute.
Yeah, it was
30.
very like, why
it's kind of a transition song,
Yeah.
interlude.
There were a couple of those that were
Yeah.
just kind of like, why did you have to make me listen to another minute of this, you know? Or just lump it into the previous song. You already have 6-minute songs
Are you not
anyway.
familiar with interludes in albums?
I mean, I like when they're funny. You know what I mean? Like the
Can you give me an example?
Oh, like in Starbomb, the Atari Mystery Hour.
Oh, of course, in Starbomb, yes.
Why did I expect a good
Why
answer?
do we ask?
That's so good.
Literally, that's the first thing that
Sorry,
popped
let
into
me
my
go for
mind.
an elite level like skit. You know, Eminem, Ken
Oh
Knitt.
my
You know what I mean, guys?
All right, he's got us there, Matt. That is kind of the pinnacle of interludes.
End of our podcast.
End of our podcast.
So, I
we haven't
mean,
heard from him in a while. There he
oh,
is.
there he is.
Some things never change.
Oh,
Music to my
Shaggy.
ears, turning my floppy disk into a hard drive.
Give me my dick back.
Amen.
Anyway, what else do you have to say?
Song number 3, The Moment.
That's a good one.
I like this one.
I did like the snapping. When the snapping came in, I was like, "Ooh, that's kind of fun." So that bumped it up to a 4 out of 10.
Let's go.
You know,
we got a
bumped it
bonus
up from
point.
it's a
3.
little below average. I'll take it.
Yeah. Song number 4, Yes, I'm Changing. It was all very similar to the previous, like same things. I think the snapping continued throughout some of the. I didn't mark it on every song that had snapping, but whenever it was there, it was a pleasant surprise. Eventually, which is song number 5. I'm just going in order. I don't think I need to say the number every time now.
Oh, this is one of the singles.
It had a good opening. I really liked the opening to this one. It came in very hot, but then the vocals came in, and then it started to sound
Slows
like all
down.
of the other ones again. And I was just like, oh, the potential, and then the drop off.
Man, this guy's going nowhere.
It went
This
20
Tame
seconds
Impala
in.
guy.
Yeah.
Did you know it's just one guy? It's not a band. It's just one guy.
I thought it. That's a joke. That's a
the
joke.
bit, yeah.
That's a joke.
It would be Impalas if it was more than one guy.
Exactly. Tame Impalas.
Unless it's two guys, Tame and Impala, like Simon and
Charles
Garfunkel.
Tame and Arthur Impala.
Why Charles?
It's actually Art Impala.
Art Impala and Simon Tame.
So stupid.
This is what you guys come here for. Gossip. It was 54 seconds. Why
Another
the fuck was it
interlude.
there? It was kind of better. I actually liked that one a little bit.
I think it's neat. It gives me Earthbound vibes.
Yeah, as far as the transitions go, I liked it. I'm gonna skip the less I know the better because we already talked about that one. It had a better instrumental. Still don't like the vocals. I think I said that earlier. Probably word for word because I'm reading. Past Life, which is song number 4. I kind of liked the robot voice in this one, but then also it started to get annoying as it went through. Like, I don't know, like what it was saying, I just kind of was like, I don't care. But I did like the attempt to use a robot voice. I love a good robot voice.
I mean, it is pretty different on this album because it's mostly spoken word besides the choruses, which I think is interesting.
It is interesting, but that doesn't mean it's good. To me, at least. Or to anyone, really. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is a very popular album.
Oh, yes. As with most of these albums we choose for the show.
I did a little bit of Googling, and there were a lot of people like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and
this is
like,
essentially
really?
a modern classic nowadays. Yeah, especially with like the 2010s, often considered one of the best and like defining of indie music. So it's very, very well regarded.
I believe it. Not for me. Anyway.
And that's okay.
Disciples. This one got a little funky. I'm
I
not
like
gonna
this
lie.
one a lot.
I could see this one being my favorite of all the songs, but
is
I
pretty
still
good.
gave it a 5 out of 10. So technically, you are correct. With
Hooray.
your prediction from earlier. It was short and it was funky.
Nice.
That's what I have written there.
Just like you, Tom.
'Cause I'm a Man was fine. I gave it like a 4 out of 10. That's all. I literally wrote fine. I had nothing else to say about that one. Reality in Motion. It was the same crap, but with new words. That's exactly what I wrote. Funky bit of drums. Sorry, it's dark in here and it's hard to read.
Now you know my pain.
It's about 3. The drums come in at around 3 minutes into the song. I enjoyed them though. I did like the funky little drums.
That's good.
Love/Paranoia. That's what it says. More of the exact same. New person, same old mistakes. Song number 13. New song. Same as instrumental.
Same bullshit.
That's the last song on the album. It was 6 minutes. It's very long. It was very similar. My overall thoughts. Should I do my overall thoughts, or do you guys want to talk about the breakdown first?
Our breakdown.
Okay, now correct me.
Yes, Matt. What did you think of Currents by Tame Impala?
So this is a weird album for me, and let me tell you why. I've kind of run into this weird dilemma where my algorithm is kind of becoming a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
So I get like a little bit of this album, a little bit of that album, and then AJ picks the album that I get basically missing puzzle pieces from. So a while ago, the thing is like I listened to this in full. And I mean, I generally liked what I was hearing, but I remember like before I like took an official listen, I don't know, like this is, while I do think this is definitely one of the like, I see why people like it. I very much see why people like it, and it is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why it is a modern classic. Don't worry, it's not going to become like Loveless.
Let me have it, baby.
It's
Let's
not,
go.
No. It's not going to become like Loveless.
Okay.
I promise. Like,
Cool,
it's
cool.
still, it's above 5. Like, I promise you, it's above. My ranking,
It's at least C tier.
my ranking is at least above 5. But
Mine isn't.
this is definitely not.
that.
This is definitely not like an album that I go to a lot. I mean, a couple of the songs that like will appear in my like Discover Weekly and like my rotation with the Spotify DJ. Eventually, obviously. I think that one is so encapsulating in an odd way, and I can't really explain why I love it so much. But I like Disciples is good.
Yeah, man.
It's like
Very Beatlesy.
yeah,
I fuck with.
the production. So that one's reappeared a few times. I'm like, yeah, and I like New Person, Same Old Mistakes.
Okay.
I actually really like that one,
Nice.
and I like Nangs. What does it mean?
I don't know.
What
That question of
does
the
it
week.
mean? Yeah, what does Nangs
What
mean?
does Nangs mean?
Nang, nang, nang. It's like it's
The Clone Dipper from Gravity Falls.
That's not at all what same.
It's a slur for vampires.
Same like ballpark area. I was thinking like the bathing suit from Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah,
That like
yeah.
quit
Yeah,
balloon
yeah.
or whatever. It's like gang, 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 and it's like
the Himalayan bathing suit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And he's alive for like no
Yes.
reason. That's the only sound
My
he can
favorite
make.
cryptid. The living bathing suit.
I'm willing to put that in the cryptology.
Yeah.
But
I am too.
do you want my ranking and stuff like that?
We'll wait.
Or we'll wait?
Yeah, till our final thoughts.
But I'll say overall, like I do like The Less I Know the Better is a good song.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't listen to it a lot.
Gotcha.
Like it's not my playlist, but like if it comes on, I won't change it.
Okay.
You know?
Fair
And
enough.
that's kind of how I feel about this album.
Okay. Well, that's completely understandable. I quite like this album. So a lot of the music I listened to in like the fall of 2020, I have like a lot of like nostalgia and appreciation for, because that's when I was like more so developing my music taste. So like this was like one album that was just like I always listen to.
I thought for some reason when you were like when I was developing, I thought you meant like your brain.
Yeah, I didn't grow motor skills till I was 21.
When AJ was in the womb, his mother played this
I
song.
played Tame Impala, and that's why I turned out the way I am today.
Just like nang nang, just like over top her stomach. So stupid.
But yeah, so I quite appreciate this album. There's a lot of tracks on here. I used to like his previous album Lonerism a lot more, but upon the re-listens for this episode, I think I like this album better because just so many tracks stand out to me, and I like the more kind of low-key psychedelic pop sound over the harder rock sound on that album. Like for instance, Let It Happen is iconic now. I've been seeing a lot of fucking movie edits with that, like soundtracking it. There's so many cool sections as well. It's like a whole kind of composition. The Moment's great. That's the one that I grew appreciation for. I like Gossip as a little transition song. I think it's very cool, very futuristic with those fluttery keys, almost Earthbound-like. Less I Know the Better is probably one of my favorite songs on the album. It's one of his biggest songs of all time, but that bass line just fucking rips so hard. Disciples rules. I like how it's more so retro, very standard kind of psychedelic rock from the 60s. And Reality in Motion is another contender for favorite track. I love that song. I think it's so fun and very, very cool indie psychedelic pop. Only flaws, I would say, I'm not huge on the last two songs. Love Paranoia I just find kind of boring. And New Person, Same Old Mistakes, I think it's a very good closer, especially in contextually with the album.
Yeah.
But just in terms of its sound, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's just a little too slow, a little too boring. So I agree with you there, Tom. But overall, I quite enjoyed this album. So I like it a lot, and it holds a special place in my heart for the time that I listened to it.
Wow, that's so special. Time for me to shit all over it.
Exactly.
Actually, that's not true. I don't think I have that much bad to say in my final thoughts, if I'm being honest.
So I guess then, Tom, did you hate this album?
Yeah, I guess.
Question mark.
On the terms of hate, I mean, again, yeah, I'd say so. I feel like hate is below a 5. You know what I mean? Like, I've only truly hated one album that I tried to listen to.
Listen to that episode.
Miss Martinez. I wasn't a full episode.
It was a little outro segment.
Yeah.
I'll also listen to that episode.
I
Listen
was
to every
thinking,
episode.
I was thinking of the first episode of like this series.
Like
on
I was thinking of American football.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
But that makes sense, dude.
American
Listen to fucking all the show, or don't. I don't care. We love you.
Just listen to Tom Hates albums and then my episodes from season 1. They're the ones that matter. Get those numbers up for me.
We need to stroke Tom's ego so he stays on.
It's true.
We're running out of funds.
If I don't get a 500 views on another one of my YouTube episodes,
Tom's
I'll cry.
walking. Tom's out.
Anyway, my final thoughts are, it was the same. I felt like it was the same song for 51 minutes. I think I kind of said that earlier. And I really didn't enjoy the vocal styling. That being said, I do feel like if you took the vocals out or just like used like, I don't know even if you have to take the vocals out, I feel like the song could be good as like a sci-fi movie soundtrack or something.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
It gave like real like 2001: A Space Odyssey vibes sometimes. They're just that like and I think that's just because they use a lot of like, I don't know if synth is the instrument, but that like
ambient,
wavy,
fluttery
fluttery key sound effects for a lot of sci-fi movies. So that's kind of, I feel like it'd be good as like background music in my life. Like if it came on and I was in the middle of doing something, like a lo-fi beat to chill and relax to kind of a thing. But for the sake of this podcast, I'm ranking it on like, how is it to actively listen to? Like if I had to sit and do nothing but listen to this like I did last night to fully make sure that I like had it, would I enjoy it? And I don't think I would. If it was in the background while I was playing like a video
Baldur's
game
Gate
or
3.
something. Yes, I haven't played that in a while. I need to get back in. Anyway, I think it'd be better like passively listening to, but actively listening to, I did not enjoy it. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 10.
Wow. What did you give American football? I forget. Was it like a 2?
Let me check the overall rankings where I've already placed this.
Oh, I see.
So American football is a 1.5 out
Gotcha.
of 10.
Okay, cool.
At a D- tier. Unknown Pleasures was 3.75 out of 10. So it slots between those two.
Gotcha.
Much closer to Unknown Pleasures than American football. Both Unknown Pleasures and Currents are D tier.
And that's your bottom 3, right?
No,
excluding Crybaby.
Excluding Crybaby,
Yeah.
which is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Matt, what did you think of Currents by Tame Impala?
So I do like this album. I definitely think though, like the amount of times that I could listen to it like all the way through is pretty minimal though. Like I think it's got a lot of really cool moments, and I do like the interludes quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're very creative, and I think when albums have that, it's like a neat thing.
Yeah.
I'd say. Surprisingly, I might agree with Tom in terms of like runtime
Yeah,
because
it's long.
yeah.
That's
and
always dangerous.
And you know
agreeing
me,
with
I'm
Tom.
kind of like a 40 minutes max kind
Yeah.
of dude. Like I want to be out of there. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a 5-minute max kind of guy.
but no, like a lot of honestly, all the singles are pretty good. Like I think like there's a reason why The Less I Know the Better is like the most streamed like fucking song that he has.
Iconic hook, man.
It's
that
good.
bass line's great.
And he's great. He's a fabulous musician. But I don't know. I feel like this is, as much as I do like this album, this is an album that I really can only take in like bits and pieces. It's kind of how I was introduced to it before I listened to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of how I intend on listening to it for at least a little while longer. So I acknowledge how good it is. So I will give it a proper B+.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
No, yeah, no, I'm
If
saying a
you
B+.
bring it down, that's also
I
fine.
gotta stop letting you pressure me. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Matt, hurt my feelings. That's
no,
fine.
I can't.
I already
that's
gave
so
it a
sweet.
3.5 out of 10.
It's
I
your
think you're good.
Well,
Matt, give me your honest opinions. I want to hear your honest
no,
opinions.
it's B+. I mean, it's not changing. I can't. It's just
That is a B+. Fine, just drop it.
it's the mustache, man. I can't.
We all know
I
it's
can't
a D.
disappoint.
Aw,
I can't disappoint a good mustache.
thanks, man.
I think it's wild that The Less I Know the Better has 1.5 million streams
You
on.
mean billion? Is it billion or million?
It is billion. I just assumed
Let me
million.
check how many streams Starbomb
It's-
has.
He's a popular artist.
I don't. I hope Starbomb is higher. I'd lose my mind.
No,
No?
nah.
Yeah,
What if I change that personally?
just do it yourself.
Just listen
Just
to it.
on repeat.
50 years. I finally did it.
Danny, for you.
He's like Bones.
Listen,
Like,
there is a new album coming.
out. I did
That's
hear
true.
about that.
Starbomb 4.
It's gonna be fun.
St4 bomb.
Is it no? There's a Ninja Sex Party album coming out too.
Oh shit.
D's
Oh, that's
Nuts.
right. Yeah.
It's called D's Nuts.
D's Nuts.
Tom, I will admit you did get me into Starbomb a bit more.
I actually have kind of cooled off with them a little bit recently. Like I haven't been listening to them as regularly. No, I like.
All right.
You know,
No,
It's so funny.
Let me be clear.
No.
I love them. I just-
Let me be clear, okay?
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear. I feel like in this we have this weird little flow. You know, anything I say is just contrarian. You know, wow, this orange is very sweet. Actually, on second thought,
Actually, I think it's bitter.
it's kind of tart. Just because because you liked it, and contrarian, I can't.
The implication that you took a bite out of an orange and we're like, this is sweet, and I came over and took a bite out of the orange.
Same orange.
I was like, I think it's
No,
bitter.
this sucks. You're wrong, Matt.
And then spat it into my lap.
This isn't as good as Starbomb and throws it
What I was
away.
saying about Starbomb is since we listened to it, it's been on my on repeat playlist the whole fucking time. So it's one of the only things. It was just on a lot, and I find it. It's how I listen to music. Is I bully myself into listening to it over and over and over until I get sick of it, and I need a break. I'm sure in like a few months
it's
I will
the dyad
discover
and the force.
Yes. In about a month or two, I'll discover Starbomb again. It'll be the only thing I listen to for like 3 months. But I've
And
been
the
kind of
cycle
like,
repeats.
and let's be clear, I don't skip all of them. I don't skip like Hero of Rhyme will always stick around. I've just been not listening to the full album as
Yeah.
a whole anymore.
Okay.
I've moved on to Meatloaf. I found my new obsession.
You're cheating on Starbomb with Meatloaf.
and wrestling
And wrestling.
And wrestling.
But that's always a constant in Tom's life.
for now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So what
what
I
was
thought
your
about the
final
album, I quite like Currents. On all these current re-listens, I actually gained even more of an appreciation for it. The current, yeah.
Because it's current re-listens
Exactly.
of Currents.
I try. What can I
Tame
say?
and Impala.
And she current. She tamed my Impala.
Jesus Christ.
At a recent event I went to, someone said she Thomas on my K till I Murphy, and I've been thinking about that a lot. Little tease of my middle name there, viewers.
Oh, guess what it is? And actually, no, that's not the question of the week. The question of the week is, what does Nangs mean? That's our next week.
What does Nangs mean?
Yeah.
Thomas Nangs Murphy.
Thomas Nangs Murphy.
With a
K-N.
K.
K-N. K is silent. Anyway. Thomas Canangs.
Ken. But anyway, AJ, continue.
I like Currents. I really like Currents. It's a very good album in my opinion. I think all the songs are very good for the most part, except for the last two, but even then, they're still pretty good. I think it's immaculately produced. It's so clean, and all like the spacey kind of ambient production in the background is just so interesting to hear, especially when he just kind of plays around with it on tracks like Past Life and Eventually, creating just very unique, lush, psychedelic sounds that you can also dance to, which he essentially achieved all of his goals on this album. There's so many great tracks with great hooks and like bass lines and drum beats, like Reality Emotion especially. I love that one. The moment's really fun. And his voice, I think, is really cool too. It definitely fits the vibe. And even if it's a little whiny, it definitely kind of fits the tone because it's all about, failed relationships and personal growth. So, yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I at least got that.
I heard a cool robot.
I don't know if that's him or that's like his friend or something, but it's like AI. I don't fucking know. It's
I thought
fun.
you said Tame Impala was one person. Why is there a friend?
That's true.
I'm sorry, I lied. I'm a fraud.
I don't know if that was picked up, but I slammed my pen.
Timothy.
Art Impala and Simon Tame. Anyway, I'm going to give this album an A tier. I quite like it a lot. So before we end this episode, I actually kind of want to introduce another new idea for the show and asking Tom, why do you think this album is so popular with critics and audiences alike? What do you think makes it stand out?
If I had known about this, I wouldn't have Googled the album this week.
Mm-hmm.
However, I kind of forgot exactly what was said. Honestly, a lot of the reviews that I read that were like 5 stars, this is a masterpiece, sounded a lot like your review.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Some of them were a little, I don't think yours was, but some of them online felt like pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it felt like people who were like being kind of assholes about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just don't enjoy it. So I don't see what
the appeal.
I mean, instrumentally, it is really good. And I imagine the vocal styling that's a personal thing. Like there are people clearly like yourself who are okay, like enjoy this kind of vocal styling that I'm not a fan of. I think that is a big part of albums that you've specifically pointed out to me that I've listened to and been like, like your favorites and the ones that I'm like, I'm kind of vibe with instrumentals and stuff, but the vocals are just like, nah, not for me.
Gotcha.
And that's where I think me and Matt. I almost said me and Matt.
I could change my name. It's okay.
It's because I was going to say me and Matt vibe, and then I combined the vibe and
Vathu Glass. We could change my name.
Yeah, Matt's just actually like a huge, just a anthropomorphic
vat of acid.
Yeah.
It's true. Vat of acid episode. What a happy, fun episode.
Yeah.
I would love to watch it at a gathering, personally. With
That's a
all
story
my
for another time.
I feel like me and Matt vibe in the vocals of the kind of music we listen to are more on the same page. Like Queen is very
that's true. Stadium
melting.
rock, arena rock,
What was it? So the question was, why do I think this is popular? And I went on a completely different tangent. So I'm gonna go back to that.
Cool.
And just say, I don't really know. It seems like something that would be like when I listened to it, I feel like I was like, yeah, people would like this. Probably not people I'd get along with super well, but I mean you. So I get along with you on camera.
That's
you
true.
don't want to know about the drama behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A little bit too much.
We won't get into it.
I had to ask my parents to pick me up once.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's true.
It was really bad.
Seeing Mr. Matt Glass in person, just the horror in his eyes, is an image I'll never forget.
Tragic. But I just don't get it. I don't know why it's famous. I'd say it just has the vibe of something that people would be like, this is a masterpiece. And I'd be like, okay. Like I knew that that's how people would take it. I also, it's Yeah, I just have no, as far as like my actual knowledge, I have no fucking idea how. It's not for me, so I don't see it. If I had more of a musical knowledge like you guys did, I'd probably be able to like break it down a little more. But if you're an audience out there that is like, I don't listen to music, then you'll probably vibe with my answer of like, hey, the fuck, how can I fucking know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. I guess that'll bring us to the end of the episode then.
I wanted to do a quick shout out
Okay.
to the last episode that came out. I probably should have done this earlier when we were talking about it, but this is fine.
We call it
Shout
a
out
bookend.
to at YYTG46G8 for commenting good thumbnail. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
The only comment on
That's true.
Yes.
AJ did mention that.
one of
I
like
did
the
mention
3
that.
listeners to that episode so far.
Yes.
Wonderful.
On YouTube. I don't
On
know how it's
YouTube.
doing on Spotify.
Better.
I mean, I imagine.
But anyway, end of the episode. Thank you all for listening. Do we have any final words?
Nang, nang, nang.
Couldn't have said it better. Shut the fuck
Cowabunga.
up. As always, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
I'm Matt Glass.
And I'm Tom Murphy.
This has been Tom Hates Albums.
Golly gee, don't I?
And we'll see you in a few weeks.
Peace. Fuck.
Fuck, that's on me.
As always, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
I'm Matt Glass.
And I'm Tom Murphy.
This has been Tom Hates Albums.
Golly gee, don't I?
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Also, happy 1-year anniversary. I forgot to mention that.